great friend Roger Christopherson here again with another first listen review, and about to babble about a band that I recently discovered here just a few short years ago. It's been around forever, but it's one of those ones that was just not really on my radar until recently. But before I get to babbling too much, I just want to ask you to like, share, and subscribe to keep this music alive, because that's kind of what we do here. We babble about bands that we love, usually ones that have been around for a while, that we share a little bit of stories and stuff like that on them sometimes, and people comment back. It's fun, so if you're into that, cool. If not, well, appreciate you checking it out, but you might be in for disappointment if you're not into that, because that's what we do. But anyway, this was kind of one that I actually, like I said, just discovered a few years ago, so been around a long time. So this is one of these instances where you guys are gonna have to do a lot more of the sharing stories and babbling about than I do. But I was really looking forward to this one because I like I said, just found these guys with the last couple albums, like Eyes of Oblivion and Overdrive, which I really loved. In case I didn't tell you, it's the Hellacopters. The name of the album is Cream of the Crap, Collected Non-Album Works, Volume 3. And there's like, was there 23 songs on this thing? A lot of songs anyway. Didn't even know there was a Volume 1 or 2. I've kind of just been gradually been getting these guys, Guyses, I don't even know how you would say that, Guyses? Yeah, anyway, their albums over the last few years. After I, finally took a listen. I heard people talking about one of these more recent albums here not too long ago, and I just decided it was time to maybe take a listen. And what I got was a lot different than what this is. Like what I got was like a upbeat, almost like I wouldn't say a bar band, but it's a rockin', like almost like a biker type band sound, with a little touch of maybe glam and 80s thrown in there, like the more recent stuff. This gave me that type of feel. Maybe some other people look at it differently, but that's kind of the feel I got from it. So getting this one, I thought maybe that's what it was going to be more like, because I haven't gone back too far in their catalog yet. Like I said, it's just kind of gradually been getting their stuff, working my way backwards. So this was like quite a jump. This was more like garage band type stuff, which I love. I mean, I was getting like vibes of, early Stooges type music. MC5 came to mind when I was listening to this. Like Moving Sidewalks was a band I used to listen to a lot back in the day. I kind of got that type of vibe from this, except a lot, maybe harder edge. Maybe not a lot harder edge, but a little bit more harder edge, and a lot more melody, even though they're very punky sounding vocals. They have a lot of melody to them too. And there's a lot of punk bands that got away with that. So kind of mixture of that type of stuff for me is kind of the feel I got from this. Other people may have different opinions, but we all look at things a little differently depending on what we've listened to our whole lives, and that's just kind of the vibe I got from it. There's a lot of cover songs on here too, a lot of originals. Most of the stuff, I guess, was early on. Like, what is it? It says on here some year what years it was covered. 95 to 2004, I guess, is when the collection of this stuff was. But Long Gone Loser kicked in, and I could tell right away this is not the style of the more recent stuff, but that's fine. I love garage rock. Like Steven Van Zandt had a show he used to do. I haven't listened to it in many, many years, but back when I was working, a night job years ago, there used to be a radio show that he did that was on all the time. He used to play all this garage rock stuff, and I would just have it, cranked and listen to that, for however long it was on, 2-3 hours, however long that show was. I don't remember exactly, but I really, really like that sound. That Detroit rock type sound, garage band. I don't know how else you would describe it, but really like that sound. If you're in the mood for it, I would say even, and it's funny, they cover an Alice Cooper song here, but even early Alice Cooper had that type of sound a little bit too. So yeah, kicked right in with that sound to me, and I just knew we were in for a different ride here anyway. But the thing I liked about the covers that they did on here is they add their, the ones I was familiar with, because there's a few on here I was not familiar with at all, because even though I like the garage rock, I don't collect a lot of that music. When it's on, I really like listening to it, but for whatever reason, I don't collect a lot of these bands. I have a huge catalog of music, like more, if I was to say it, you'd think I was lying how much I have. So to like start a new genre to collect on it would just take me down a rabbit hole I'm just not ready to go down quite yet. So I've kind of stuck clear of collecting any of these bands, but I really do enjoy listening to them when I get them, when I get the chance to anyway. But the point I'm getting to is song number 3 on here. When it started, I'm like, man, I know this song, and it's a very, very popular song I've heard hundreds of times. But when it was playing, because they did it in their own style, and so different from the original, even though I instantly recognized the song, it took me probably a good half a minute into the song before I realized who it was. And I'm talking about the song Her Strut, which is a Bob Seger song. It might have been, I can't remember if that's his original or if that's a cover, actually. Off the top of my head, I actually can't remember. But anyway, that right there was the first one that made me realize these guys really know how to take something and make it their own. So just another dimension of this band that I've discovered, like 2 different dimensions. With the first 3 songs, I'm just warning, I learned a lot more about this band right off the bat, and that they can make anything sound their own. So it really made me like really respect this band even more. And one of the things that I really love about albums, especially from bands that have been around for a while that I am just discovering, when something like that makes me want to go and find more of their stuff and dive in deeper, then that's just a really good thing. It's then the album, for whatever reason, the record companies put out this album, as if it's for longtime collectors or if it's to like entice new fans to go get their old stuff. If that was part of the goal, then goal achieved with me anyway. And like I said, there's 24 songs on here. I'm not gonna go through every single song in here, but like there's a lot of covers on here they did the same thing with. And another one that comes to mind, I'm trying to see what track it was on here. Here it is, track 13, Working for MCA. Unexpected. For me anyway. I would not expect to hear like a garage band sounding version of this song, the old Lynyrd Skynyrd song. Once again, made it sound like their own song. Even though I instantly recognized that one and knew who it was, I really, really enjoyed what they did with that song. Even I'm 18, which everybody knows it's a huge, well-known song, the Alice Cooper song. They didn't change that one too much from the original, but it still didn't sound like them covering in note for note somebody else's song. It still sounded like they made it their own, even though that one's like super well known, even more than the other 2 I may have mentioned already. And they got their own, original stuff thrown in here, the back and forth, which I, obviously hadn't heard at all. But a couple of the other highlights on this album for me were Disappointment Blues. I guess they have a song on here called Fairy Tale, which is a newer version. I hadn't heard the original version of it, so I didn't have anything to really compare it to, but definitely going to find out what album that was on. If somebody there knows off the top of your head and you want to comment and let me know what album that's on, so I should know which one to go grab, please put it in there for me so all of us can know, actually. But yeah, then Get Ready, another cool little cover that they did there. Really enjoyed that. Like, there wasn't really a bad song. There's at least nothing I didn't enjoy. Some I just enjoyed, a little bit more than others, and like the shock factor of how good their version of something sounded to me. Like I mentioned, those 2 songs there, just really impressed. So, like I said, not going to go through every single song, but it definitely, the whole album, even though it was a bunch of collections of songs and a bunch of stuff, it had a very cohesive feel to it. It wasn't like all over the place with like sound genres or sounds in general, like guitar sounds or mixing or vocal, different styles. It wasn't like all over the place. It really was very cohesive, which I was really kind of happy about, because sometimes I get these compilations and they're just all over the place, and sometimes it's a little jarring and just all over the place. So I just said all over the place many times. So if we're doing the old drinking game like I sometimes do, if I tend to say the words cool a lot. So if you're if you're drinking along and doing the shot, that's always a fun thing to do with me. However many times I say certain words, I tend to do that a lot. So it's brought up to me a lot, or somebody else pointed out that I smack my lips too much. So if you're doing the drinking game, you want to drink along to those. Take a shot every time I either smack my lips, say cool, or whatever I just said on this one, I don't remember now. But anyway, it's all fun. We just like, I mean, what's more fun than self-deprecating humor? Nothing. So on that note, you know, until I get the next forgot the name of the band. Until I get the next Hellacopters album, and I do an edit. We do an edit on here in case you picked up on that. Edit, nothing. Like if right now somebody's come barging in the room and start yelling at me, we'd leave that in there. And hopefully that doesn't happen, because I don't know why somebody would barge in the room and yell at me, but who knows? Anything could happen. But until I get the next Hellacopters album, or I find something cool else to talk about, because none of the other releases that came out this week are worth talking about, in my opinion, we will see you.